It's no secret that rubrics are a great way to score any type of project. It lets the students know exactly how they did. You can communicate it quickly, get a grade for it, and return it to the student. Now, I'm going to talk about streamlining it even more if you are a Google Classroom user and also if you're an Orange Slice user. So if you've never used Orange Slice, I recommend you use this. You can use the Rubric Maker from ThemeSpark, create a rubric, which I already have some. I'm going to go ahead and go into my folder here with oral reports. Go to, this is an oral report. This is a PDF version, or you can download a PDF version of it. And so this is a rubric I made. It's not necessarily tied to any specific project. You can actually customize your own rubrics with this. But I'm going to talk about how to streamline it with Orange Slice. The first thing you need to do is you need to get a copy of this. Now, you can't copy it from here, and you can't copy the PDF version of it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit share this rubric. It's going to take me to a shareable page that honors the table format here. I'm going to highlight the whole thing. I'm going to copy it like so. And I'm going to go to a document. And I'm going to create a document ahead of time for this project. I'm going to attach it in Google Classroom for this project. And so this is something you would give to the students through Google Classroom ahead of time before the project's even done. So that way they have it in there and you can just merely score it. So we're just setting up the rubric within Google Docs right now. I'm going to go ahead and run Orange Slice, hit score rubric. There's nothing in there right now. We need to build the rubric within it. So one of the wonderful things about Orange Slice is that it has a rubric built in, but let's say it doesn't necessarily meet the standards that you want it to. It doesn't cover everything that you want it to do. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to set this as ascending, and I'm also going to hit create my own. You can set that however you want. And I'm going to skip all these. I'm going to also choose, I got this one. So I'm not choosing any specific categories or anything like that. All I'm doing is I'm setting, I got this one, and it's going to give me a generic rubric here at the top. Right? So it pops one in. Now, here's what I'm going to do now. Above this, I'm going to remember these words right here, rubric categories. Above this, I'm going to go ahead and paste my table from the ThemeSpark rubric. Give it a moment. And there it's in. And the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab rubric categories here. And I'm going to type that in the top box. Now you'll notice that it shifts this over and you no longer have an empty spot here. You're going to need an empty spot there. I'm going to just cut these and shift it over a space and click in that box and paste here. And then I'm going to change the words here to rubric categories. There we go. And now my rubric is built, and I'm going to go ahead and delete this box right here. I'm going to click on here and I'm going to go ahead and delete the table. I right-clicked to do that, or two-finger clicked. Got rid of the table. And now the next thing I need to do is I need to share this with my students. So I'm going to go to Google Classroom and I'm going to create an assignment, and this is what I'm going to attach with it. Create my assignment. I'm going to title it Rubric Test. I'm going to hit Google Docs. I'm going to put this document in there so that way every student gets a copy of it. So I'm going to search for it, Orange Slice and Rubric. And there is my version of it. I'm going to hit add. And I'm going to set this as, this is very important, make a copy for each student. I'm going to assign it. This is where it's very, very important that you save time. You need to make sure that every student has a copy of the rubric, whether it's an oral report or a video report, a podcast report, website report. I don't care what kind of project it is. You need to make sure that you share it in Google Docs to save you time. And then the student can just have a copy of it. So with the student, I'm going to pull up a student screen here like so. Okay, so with the student, all the student has to do is open the assignment. And it gives them a copy of the rubric right there with their name on it. Now, they can add their own file from Google Drive, and they can add a doc, a sheet, a slide. So if they do a video or they do any other type of project, they can just add that along with it. When they're ready to turn in, they do their project, they're going to hit turn in. And this is where it streamlines everything for you as the teacher. They're going to turn it in. Then the teacher, all they have to do is they go to the assignment and they can click on every student, see the video, or they could even have Google Classroom up if it's an oral report. They can have Google Classroom up with all their rubrics, click on the rubric that they need with their name already on it. Okay, once it loads, then all the teacher has to do is go to each student's document, go to add-ons, and what's fantastic about Orange Slice is that what it's going to do is it's going to recognize the table. I don't have to remake this rubric in every single document. As the student opens each one and turns it in, has their very own copy of the rubric ready to go. All I have to do is score it from Orange Slice. I'm going to put in the total number of points. I'm going to hit finish. I'm going to hit grades. I'm going to start grading these. Like so. Hit process grade. It's going to give me the markings, exactly what their grades were. And if I scroll down even further, it's going to also give the actual grade directly in the document itself. It tells the total number of points. And this is where it's fantastic with Google Classroom, because for the teacher, all they have to do is once they go through all these and they set the point total, they're going to want to update the screen. When they update the screen, once you refresh the screen, it actually shows the grade directly there on the document name. So the teacher merely just needs to punch in the number and return it to the students. And that is that. And that is how you integrate your own custom rubric with Orange Slice Teacher Rubric.